Welcome back to another episode. I am Sticks. This is my best friend and co-host D-Lo, and we are too complex. We got a really good sports-filled episode for y'all today. But before we get into the content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel because we almost there. We still like 10 away, 11 to 10 away from that goal of 500. And also hit that notification bell so you miss none of these bangers that we drop every single week, man. D-Lo, as we start off every single Saturday, how was your week, my boy?
So we mentioned last week. That's all good, man. I mean, we gonna say what we gonna say. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Let people say what they're gonna say about what we say. What we, on here.
We got the disclaimer now, so they can't say shit.
Yeah, you feel me? Yeah, can't say that then, or they can, but it don't matter. But we said last week. That Christmas is in full swing. Christmas holidays season is in full swing. It's definitely in full swing. In the midst of wrapping gifts, buying presents, and all that stuff. So I'm kind of at the tail end of purchasing my gifts. So hopefully I'm not going all the way up to Christmas Eve or the weekend of purchasing gifts for individuals. Kind of at the tail end. But yeah, it's definitely in full swing. Like I've said before, it's my favorite time of year. Get to see many people that you don't typically see on an ongoing basis, or you just make it a priority to spend time with those that you really care about. So yeah, man, I love this time of year. So it's been going good. The week was good. Work is busy, but I'm trying to wind it down. Like, yo, you won't see me till the beginning of the year. So you know what I mean? So, but how about you? How's your week?
My week was good, man. My week was like I said, for right now, our works are opposite. Like you, super busy. I'm really not because you know I'm new to the insurance world, and me making phone calls to try to sell insurance at this point of the year is not working because people are not worried about it. Either they've already renewed their insurance or they ready to go on vacation, so they're not answering the phones and they're not trying to talk. So it's whatever. It's cool. I get it. So I'm just kind of trying to work through and get my pitch down and just using it as practice at this point. But had my first presentation yesterday, brother, and I'm about to make my first little bit of money in the insurance world, fam. So it's dope,
up, bro.
It's dope, man. So it was a really good appreciate it. It was a really good presentation. They were already on board to come with us anyway, but they just wanted to see how we could save them money and how we can do things outside of the insurance, outside of just selling. So I had to put that together and present it, and my team leader, did an amazing job of showing me how to work through the presentation for my first time. So it was super dope, and they were super happy. So got to put one more thing together on next week, and then after that, it's gonna be, pedal to the metal for that client up until here. But it's fun, man. But as far as the holidays, this is my favorite time of the year too. But me being so far away from family, it gets emotional at times for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
come back to the mic,
yeah. It gets emotional for me sometimes, mainly because I'm here by myself. You know what I'm saying? I got my daughter, of course, who's always here every single Saturday, but every weekend, but I just don't have the feeling to put up a tree or, and nothing like that. Like I just be in here, bro. And it's like, I want to see y'all. I want to see family. I want to see you, my lady, all of my friends, Mac, all of y'all. But I can't do that because I can't just decide to make time to drive or fly 3,000 miles away. You know what I'm saying?
If you drive, that you really decide to make time.
I promise you, because I would have planned a 2-week trip. I'm telling you.
What I mean?
It's funny you say that because it only took me 2 days to drive here whenever I came. So I could drive 2 days, stay a week, and drive another 2 das. So that's, what I'm saying? That's a 10-day trip. You feel me? Like, it's a
10-day trip. And you was better off flying because you were going to spend a ton of money.
What? You don't understand the amount of money that I spent to get here. Let alone, you do know. You do know.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy being across the country, man. But it's still a great time of year. I still get to see, virtually get to see family, and I talk to you every single Saturday, so we're gonna have our relationship regardless. But pause.
Yeah.
And so it's just dope, man, to just be in this space and what I decided to do, and but it's emotional sometimes though. I can't agree with that. But it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? Like I have my daughter. That's all that really mattered to me at this point. But it's all good, man. It's cool.
I definitely get that.
Great.
I definitely get that. And so take a step back to the first thing that you said about making your first sale. Again, congratulations. You better than me because you love that sales world, bro. I mean, I was in it, and
I love the game. I love the hustle, man. It's like being one of them ball players, you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People might not get that reference, but it's all good.
Facts.
But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't do terrible in the sales world. I was comfortable. I can't. I don't know. It's just not my personality, I guess. So yeah, you do well in that sales world, and every time you say, "Yeah, man, I make this, I do this amount of sales," I'm like, "Man, how you do that? How you do it? How you deal with that stress all the time?" You know what I mean?
It's crazy because it's not even stress, man. What I love about it is the relationship building. That's what I love about it. And as long as I can earn the relationship, I can eventually earn the business. You know what I'm saying? It's just
right.
And people, when I was in car sales, man, people just liked me because I was just straightforward. Like it was just my straightforward demeanor. Like, I understand that you want that Escalade, but for what you can afford, you might want to think about getting the Santa Fe over here because it's going, that's what your credit and your budget kind of say that you can, you know what I'm saying? But it was just me being straightforward. Like, nah, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just, they love that about me.
Yeah, I love building relationships too, but I feel like in sales they're fake relationships. You know what I mean? It's not genuine. I love genuine relationships. Let's put it like that. I love genuine relationships. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm not saying that's you. But what I'm saying is like a lot of individuals that are in sales, they try their hardest to make it seem like they're trying to build a genuine relationship, and they're really not. And it's crazy. And most people can tell.
And most people can. And that's what sets good salespeople apart from shady salespeople is the relationship after the sale. And that's what I tried to make sure that I kept up with, was making sure I was following up either once a month, once every 2 months, to make sure that they still enjoy their car, or if they need any help with anything, if they have any claims that they want to put in, I can help them get the claim together. Like, I was good after the sale too. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't just building a false relationship. You know what I'm saying? I hated doing that. And that's the same thing that I want to do now in my new career, is building that relationship is going to be even more catamount to my success, because they can network me to somebody else who has a small business that wants to do that needs insurance. So it's all about the network and all about the book of business that you build, because referrals is what really catapults a salesperson to the top, is getting not having to work for business, just having people bringing you business. That's what catapults you to the top. So that's what I always like to do, is keep that relationship strong, because the relationship is going to bring you more money and more business. So just keep the relationship strong. That's what I love.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me, bro. I mean,
it's all good.
I'm good with people. I feel like to the most degree, to some degree, but having to spark the relationship, it's not my cup of tea. It's just not me. Yeah, it's not.
I could dig it. Yeah. I could dig it.
So listen, man, it's 2023, about to be 2024, and we still are dealing with issues of racism in the competitive sports world. I don't know if you know or you read, but Norfolk State and Illinois State were playing in a basketball game, and the game was stopped in the second half because one of the fans yelled out a racial slur to one of the Norfolk State players, which ended up in a small confrontation. No fist, no blows thrown, anything like, but an argument between the coaches. How you feel about that? Like, you went to a HBCU, played sports there, and you also like played football and basketball, where y'all played at some PWIs. Have you ever gone through any of these where you had, and then you played, not to age you, but we both played well before 2023. We'll just say that. And so going into these PWI schools, I went to a PWI, never heard any of that stuff, by the way. Even when we played some HBCUs, but did you ever have to deal with that, traveling to PWIs as an HBCU player?
I can say that I was lucky enough to not have to be subjective knowingly, or I could tell was direct racism, right?
Right.
So and this is gonna sound kind of arrogant me saying this, but a lot of the times me going into these games, they knew who I was, so to speak. Like the scouting report would be stop sticks. Like you stop him, you win the game. But they was gonna win anyway. Most of the games when we played my senior year, we was getting beat by 60 because we was playing Florida and Duke and Carolina and all. But I never knowingly, or it was directed at me of anything of that nature. But the difference between you being a black guy going to a PWI is that you're not going to be subjected to that because you're at a PWI. At least that's that's my thought. That's my thought. You know what I'm saying? Because it's usually from the top down, and you already at the top compared to what I was at. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't think that you would be subjected to it being at a PWI. And this sounds bad me saying this, but it's just the truth. Like I wouldn't think, with me being at the HBCU, I would think that I would be subjected to it a lot more than you would be. So, and I've never been subjected to it. Maybe I'm naive in a sense, but I have never had anything directed to me racially in my life that I knew or felt like was racist. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, in sports, nah. I mean, and I don't think you said you haven't, but it's just weird. You said it was Norfolk State and what other school?
Illinois State. So Illinois State obviously was the PWI.
The PWI.
I believe Illinois State is
I'm pretty sure it is.
And Norfolk State is
a HBCU, which is it's an
HBCU conference. Which is that going to get dismantled soon? Because I feel like Central left to go to the Colonial Conference, and it's another school that's about to leave and go to, diverse conference, so to speak.
I don't know if the MEAC is going to get dismantled.
I doubt they do that, but I just know more more schools like the A&Ts, the Norfolk State, or some other school. It might not be Norfolk State, are leaving the MEAC and going to PWI conferences or conferences that aren't seen as HBCU conferences.
Yeah, nah, I didn't even. So you just said something that I didn't even know. So you said Central left that is
not
leaving
Central.
the MEAC to go to the Colonial.
Not Central. I'm sorry, A&T.
A&T.
If I said Central, I misspoke. If I said Central, I misspoke. A&T has already gone. They already have left the MEAC, and they, I believe, played. I could be wrong. It's either this year they played in the Colonial Conference or they're starting next year. But I know they're leaving the MEAC.
Well, I was going to use the fact that Central played A&T this year, but that's a yearly rivalry, so that don't really mean nothing. They probably gonna still play regardless. But Illinois State is a PWI. They're not an HBCU. Okay. Norfolk is an HBCU, of course. I think most people know that. But yeah, I've never been subjected to it, bro. I've honestly not that I knew or that I could say, damn, that was kind of racist towards me. I've noticed it towards other people, but I was like, damn, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I've never been subjected to something directed at me that I felt was racist.
Right.
On the court, in life, on the field, nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, I had a good way of blocking things out whenever I was either on the field or on the court. So I really didn't worry about what was said to me from the stands. I had a really good way of blocking things out. But if it was said after the game, I would have noticed it. If it was said in an interview, I would have noticed it. But other than that,
let me ask you this then. How do you feel about, again, 2023, 2024? We know that people are super trolls now. Like they'll do and say anything to get you out of your game, whether that's in actual competitive sports. Well, I guess esports are competitive now too. Yeah, like they're seen as being competitive, but not even necessarily in an esport environment. More so like Call of Duty, whatnot. You hear people that aren't of the culture using racial slurs. How do you feel about fans and trolls using racial slurs to get you out the game, to heckle players? How do you feel about that?
It's weird, bro. It's hella weird. Like, just because you can say that you were trolling or heckling does not mean that doesn't make you racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't use a heckle or a troll to cover up the fact that you are what you are. And again, even in the damn, that's crazy because even in the gaming world, I have never had somebody call me the hard ER or nothing like that. It's just unless I've never heard it. I've never heard it, but somebody probably has said it or something like that. But I'm just like, yo, I've never, because I'm not in the COD community because I don't play first person shooters because it makes me nauseous. I don't think you knew that. It gives me motion sickness.
We've mentioned because I always wonder why you play Fortnite, but you don't play anything else.
I only play third person shooters.
Yeah, you may have mentioned it, but it went over my head.
Yeah. So I'm not in the COD community, but I've heard the COD community is super toxic as far as like super duper
stuff
toxic
like that. Yeah,
I'm telling you. So it's like
I don't play COD either, but
you played it before though. I'm sure
I played it before. Yeah, 100%. But
yeah. But it's weird. I mean, and again, I know we said this a couple of times in the show, and just like Kanye said, man, it's still a lie. They just be concealing it. And but most of the time, whenever it's something like a troll or a heckle or something like that, it's right in front of your face. Right. And people are trying to use social media as a blanket to be racist whenever you are who you are, bro. So if you racist, just be racist. But people gonna call you out. You can be that's crazy. I'm gonna bring this up later. But you will be called out for it. And people are gonna label you what you are, which is racist. It's just weird. Right. I just don't understand why people do it because it just makes you look stupid and sound stupid. Especially if somebody exposes it.
Yeah. And we don't like to be racy here on Too Complex. But it was something I saw this week. I was like, we gotta have to have that conversation, especially with our two different perspectives with how we were in the athletic world as far as college wise. We took two different paths and had two different experiences. So I thought that would have been a good conversation to have.
Nah,
but sticking with the hate.
I hear you.
Why do people hate on Bron so much, man?
It's mainly because they do not want to see somebody be greater than Michael Jordan, bro. And all respect to Mike. In his generation, he was the greatest. Yeah. And people will see him as the greatest of all time, no matter what generation is. But
no matter what anybody does coming behind him.
No matter what anybody does come behind him, nobody wants to see anybody surpass him as the greatest of all time. And I've been on this show a million times saying that man right there is the GOAT. Mm-hmm. He is the GOAT. If you can see this in the frame, LeBron is right here. But LeBron. If you can, if the audience can see that, but LeBron is my GOAT. Like he, to me, is the greatest basketball player of all time. Statistically, his longevity, the championships that he's won, regardless of how many he lost, he's won 4 championships and is looking to win more. So it's like, to me, he's the GOAT. They just don't want to see him above Mike, bro. The hate is so crazy because he just won the in-season tournament and people are having a conversation about that. What does this do for his legacy? Yeah. Just let the man play, bro. He's the greatest. He's the greatest, so bro.
That's exactly where I was going with it. Like, and exactly why I said last week, the fans will determine the legitimacy of this in-season tournament. Legit. And because it's the first one, and because of how the Lakers celebrated and who won the MVP and all of that, it's like, people are trying to automatically say, why do we have this tournament? Why is it an in-season tournament? It doesn't mean anything. It's not like the postseason. And then, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant would have never celebrated like that. If you think somebody, the NBA put a tournament like that in place and one of them two win it and they not going to celebrate like they won the NBA championship, you crazy.
I will say though, is maybe not Kobe. Jordan probably would have celebrated, but maybe not Kobe because Kobe has the famous saying, "Job ain't done." So I think Kobe would have been like,
okay.
Kobe would have been like, oh, yeah, it's still 60 games left in the season, nigga.
I'm going to follow it up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm going to follow this segment up with something else that I've seen that I want to talk about. But, and you have a good point there, but I still think Kobe will have celebrated. Maybe not to the magnitude. Well, it's the Lakers. The Lakers, maybe
not champagne, pocket with the goggles, but at the same time, I think, you're right. Kobe would have had fun with it, but he would have been like, job not done type shit.
We talking hypotheticals here. We don't really know how these cats would have celebrated, but all I'm saying is the hate for Bron is real. And listen, I think Bron is definitely top 2 all time, 1A, 1B, and that could be interchangeable however you want to argue it. I don't care. It's Jordan, Bron, Kobe's in there, Shaq. I mean, not in the top two, but you know that those are the greatest of all time.
The conversation, yeah.
Those are the greatest of all time. But the comments under all of these different posts with
it's so disrespectful.
The Lakers and LeBron celebrating the championship is like y'all just want to hate this man for whatever reason. Like, oh, he's a China supporter. Oh, he's so arrogant. Oh, and we're gonna talk about Bronny later on.
Yeah.
Why did he come into the game with the national anthem and then sat down? It's like, oh my God, he can't do anything. He can't do anything without people talking about him. Then Charles Barkley gets
I was about to say that,
and says, well, if they celebrate it, he gonna get on TV and talk so much trash about him. Charles Barkley, I love you, guy, but what have you won?
Other than the MVP. Other than MVP,
what I mean?
And we can say that Michael Jordan might have deserved that one too. But other than MVP, you have not won a championship, so you don't know how to celebrate a championship.
Right.
Regardless if it's in season or NBA or not, you don't know how to celebrate those. So stop being a hater. But it's like his resume is so squeaky clean that they have to figure out how to diminish it in some kind of way. Like, he has never been in any trouble. He has, other than the decision that people hated, but he has never been in any trouble, has never, from what we know, has never cheated on his wife, has never had any allegations against him. Like, he's built schools, he's done things for his friends, he's done things for the community, he's done things for the NBA. He's so squeaky clean that people want to find some reason to diminish his legacy. And again, to the same point, nobody wants to see him greater than Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan is everybody's greatest of all time. But they don't want to admit that this man has done the same, if not a little bit more than what Michael Jordan has done, and just admit the shit. And Pops, Coach Adams, D-Lo gonna make sure that you don't get mad at him for saying that LeBron is the GOAT.
I just talked to him too. Yeah. Not about this though. Not about this. About talk to him.
Shout out to Pops, but I'm gonna say it. LeBron's the GOAT. D-Lo might not. He might say 1A, 1B. LeBron is my GOAT. So I don't care.
I genuinely think MJ changed the game of basketball. Whereas everybody always said
he about to start fronting, y'all. Listen.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me.
I got you. I'm just playing.
Listen to me. Where everybody said that MJ and a little bit before him was plumbers and electricians and all that in the league. And after that, you start to see more athletes like Michael Jordan in the league, to where it is the game that it is today. And I just feel like you have to give him credit for that, because he's the one that started all of this off the court stuff as well. And so you have to give him credit for his total body of work. I mean, everybody, the knock on LeBron, as you mentioned, is the championships. And you have to include that.
It's not even the championships, it's the losses that they
losses. That's what I'm saying. I guess I didn't say that, but the amount of champions he went to and the amount of losses that he went to. This is my argument for that, though, is if he would have retired last year, which he probably, I shouldn't say should have, but he very well could have left the game on top. I mean, losing, but still on top as far as individual statistics and accolades. He would have went to a finals championship half his career. 50% of his career he was in the championship. He finished.
Man went to 8 straight finals, bro. It was at one point you couldn't see a finals without LeBron James. And he won 4 of them. 4. Well, he didn't win 4 to 8, but he won 4 championships. Right. So it's like, bro, like, come on, man, y'all wildin', bro.
I just thought that was. I had to ask you, why does Bron get so much hate? But I'm gonna follow that up with this. So, SportsCenter also posed a question: should the winner of the NBA Cup, which is the in-season tournament, should they get an automatic playoff spot?
No.
What's your thoughts on that?
No. Because. And it's crazy because I watch It Is What It Is as I'm driving. The shout out to Cam and Mace. Yep. I watch their show whenever I'm driving it.
No, that's what they always say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Paul. Oh yeah. Okay, I was like, did I say something? But
you did.
But I watched their show, and they actually said that too. Was like the question was posed, and hell no. So say for instance, well, they just beat the Lakers last night. But say for instance, San Antonio Spurs, who might win the NBA Cup and have a good beginning of the season, and they end up 20-62.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, that's not a playoff team. That's a bottom of the West team, right?
Right.
But they get a chance to go. And that, you know what? That's contradictory, dog, than what I said last week with
What'd you say?
The NCAA. Because, well, not necessarily contradictory, because they would give them an automatic bid, but they would go into the NBA playoffs and probably get swept in the first round. But that's kind of contradictory because everybody wanted TCU to be in there and they got their ass beat too. So right. I don't know. I don't think it should be an automatic bid though. I don't think they should get an automatic bid to the playoffs though. Nah, I don't think that's, I think that for what the NBA Cup is right now, it's perfect for what it is. It's giving them something to play for at the beginning of the year so people don't load manage as much. They can keep the game, competitive, and you know, you give them the people, the audience, something to watch that kind of feels like, because I got the kind of a feel a little bit towards the end, especially whenever it was like the semifinals, the finals. I got the feel of kind of playoff energy and environment from the in-season tournament. So that's for what it is right now and the way it might progress in the future. I think it's doing a good job of doing what it is, giving people a automatic bid to the playoffs. I don't think that's what the in-season tournament should be for at all. What you think? You think the opposite?
So no, I don't think they should have an automatic bid or automatic playoff position if they win the in-season tournament. I do feel I was reading some of the comments. Somebody brought up a great point and a good idea is if they are in that top 8 for the seeds, then they should, or they're in. Well, two. I saw two. I'll take it back. I saw two good thoughts for this. So they should get an automatic bid into the play-in tournament to play. So that's the 7 through 8 position. Somebody should automatically get there, or they should create a new position in the play-in. So a 7, 8. What is it? What is the 7, 8?
7, 8, and then 9 and 10 are 9 and 10 are the play-in spots.
No, 7 and 8 play in the 7 and 8 play in the
the play-in
playoff. Yeah, the play-in. I think it's 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, and 9. So they should have an automatic one for the NBA Cup winner. So they should be 10 if they have a losing record, right?
7 through 10. You're right in each conference.
Yeah. So if they have a losing record, they should, but they win the NBA Cup somehow, they should get that 10th spot. And so 10 should have to play 9 to get into the play-in tournament. And then they do the play-in tournament how they normally do. That was one idea. Okay. The second idea is if they are already in the top 8 seeds to be in the playoffs from each side of the bracket, then they move up a seed. I thought those were good ideas, but I mean, I'm like you. If a team that isn't historically good or is not good, they happen to win the NBA Cup, giving them the incentive to be in the playoffs just says, hey, we can take the rest of the year off. We already in the playoffs.
Throttle it down,
and just get ready for the playoffs and try to make a run there. I think that's just a wrong idea. But I also feel like they need to move the play-in the in-season tournament NBA
to the
Cup
middle of the season.
To the middle of the season, so right before All-Star break. Because after All-Star break is when you see players start to turn it up in preparation of
the playoffs,
getting ready for the playoff run, right? So I feel like they should make it at the middle of the season, right before All-Star break, because then everybody's going to get a break after that. If you're an All-Star, you're playing a game, but you still get a little time off after that and go that route. I mean, I just thought that was a good thing to talk about, a good topic.
For sure.
To bring up because, who doesn't like an automatic bid and have that conversation, especially after we had a conversation last week about Florida State being in and being out.
Yeah, it's I don't think that's a good idea. I think for what it is, like I said, I think for what it is, it's great for what it is. It gives people to something for the players to play for, something for the people to see that resembles playoff basketball. But I do agree that they probably should move it a little bit further down the season to have it in the middle so people can play to be ready for the tournament, play in the tournament and be ready and play well. And then towards the All-Star break, people can already basically be in playoff shape, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that'd be great. But one of the topics, one of the quick hit topics that I had was, have you seen what they doing on Twitch, bro?
Yeah. So I think I have, but I don't know exactly where you're going with it.
The artistic nudity section, bro.
Yeah. Well, they already backtracked that.
I didn't hear that, but see me. So in my spare time, I stream a little bit. I haven't streamed in a while, but in my spare time, I do stream every once in a while, and I have a okay following on Twitch. I'm thinking about moving to another platform because Twitch is starting to turn into OnlyFans. Whenever I get in, and there's a second point to this that I want to make too. But whenever I get logged on to Twitch and I want to stream, the first thing I see is artistic nudity, and it's like, bro, why are y'all pushing this on this platform that my kid can get on here and watch, bro? Like, and I don't follow any of these pages. I don't know if I really follow any Twitch streamers, to be honest, unless they some of my gamer homies that actually stream too. I might follow them, but it's like a lot of these pages are just on my homepage for you, so to speak. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if this is what's on my page, I am older than 18, but I feel like my daughter can see the same thing if she ever gets on Twitch. And I'm like, this is not what I want my kid to see. But it's like, but Twitch has been like this for a while now. Twitch has been like that for probably a couple of years where, and don't get me wrong, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's mostly women that are trying to figure out ways to go around the TOS. And how much they can show and what they can do to gain subscribers and gain followers and people giving them donations on Twitch.
It's the oldest profession in the world.
The oldest profession in the world, D-Lo. And that's like, there's and me and my lady was talking about this, and I had already knew about it, but she brought it up to me because she know that I stream, and she was like, "Have you seen this?" And it's like, there's no more safe. She was like, "There's no more safe places on the internet no more." Because you have people trying to figure out a way to get around TOS on Instagram, TikTok, now Twitch. X lets you be free and do whatever you want to do. Twitter is, X is basically OnlyFans at this point too. So it's like
they've been like that for a while though.
Yeah, but
even before Elon purchased it, all
of the social media is just crazy, and it's like, do I want my 16-year-old daughter to be on these things? And I can't. I can't be that much of a martyr and just say, nah, you ain't doing no social media. But I'm just like, bro, like, it's so much going on that it's like, there's no more innocence, bro. And it's nigga, it's weird, bro. It's weird.
I saw that. Actually, I saw that just this morning. But I saw it at the back end of what it was. So like I said, they've already gone back on. They've already recanted that and said that they're not going to allow the artistic nudity. But there was, like you said, there were so many individuals that were doing other things around, like trying to skate around the TOS to have a little bit of nudity, to figure out how they can gain more subscribers, to sexualize themselves even more on Twitch more than they already have. Because, like I said, and like I've said for the last 2-3 weeks, I believe it's the oldest profession. In the world. Men are going to.
Men are going to partake in this entertainment.
100%.
I don't personally, to be honest, but as far as the streaming, you know what I'm saying? I don't partake in any of that. But it's just weird, bro. It's just weird.
What I was dancing with, trying to figure out how to say was, but I feel like it's true, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's way easier for women to do stuff like that than men to get on
way easier
and show, not even like be nude or anything, like, but have like almost nothing on and get more attention than men do. Like 100%. Man can do the same thing, and it's like, oh, okay, but a woman get on there and she got all kind of people, men and women, on her stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
but it's crazy because I mean, and it's been like this for decades now, that the woman's body is overly sexualized in the media and in the society. So, you know, with just taken from D-Lo's book, it's the oldest profession in the world, and it's like you'll see a woman with basically nothing on, just pasties over her areolas.
Mm-hmm.
And painting
which is the part that the part that everybody try to see, but
it's the areola.
But like
the whole titty out.
You see everything else. You see the shape of it. I don't know, man. Like,
it's just weird, bro.
I've said this to multiple women. I'm like, you got that covered, and I know that's what we all try to see is the bullseye, but come on, bro.
Ding, 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 ding. You won. but nah, it's just so weird, man, because nothing is safe anymore, bro. Like the outside ain't safe, the internet ain't safe. Like we just gotta. It is, and we're gonna talk about this too. This is, the importance of parents in your life, man. You got to make sure that you're having these conversations and you try to protect their innocence as much as you can to make them functioning, citizens in society, man. To make them be able to go out in the world and make the right decisions for themselves. But it starts with us. It starts with us. It starts with the parents, man. So having these open dialogues is what we need, bro. That's what me and my lady was talking about, man. It was just crazy, dog. Just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I think Twitch is trying to keep up with other streaming platforms that kind of allow stuff like that that's not as popular. So
like your Kicks and your Rumbles of the world, yeah.
Right. Like, yeah, you know more about those type of streaming services than I do, but I do know that they're trying to keep up with it. But you're backed by Amazon. You don't need to do that.
Not at all.
Like, I know that you want
Amazon and Google.
Always. No, it's just Amazon that has Twitch.
I thought Google. No, Google is YouTube. You're right.
Yeah. But I know that you want to have as many active subscribers and users of the platform as possible, and the more ways that you can open that up, the better. But sometimes stick with what got you there, and don't worry about anything else, and just be true to who you are. But corporate, they always trying to find ways to make more money because the shareholders want ways to have them boost their stock and keep money in their pocket.
If they're trying to keep up with. Go ahead. What I was about to say is, if they're trying to keep up with OnlyFans then tried to get that the sexual content off of their platform already one time, and because they know it ain't good for business. Well, that's a lie because it actually is.
That'd be a dead ass lie.
That's a lie because it actually is good for business because sex sells. But if you try to keep up with them, it's just going to break down your platform, bro, because not a lot of people really want to see that, and most people don't want to be associated with that type of work anyway. So it is what it is, man. That's why I was thinking about getting off Twitch and going to like a Kick or a Rumble or something like that, because I'm a man, and
you just trying to pick the best of the lesser of the two evils.
Not necessarily, because yeah, true, because I'm gonna see the same thing on Kick and Rumble because they don't have too much TOS as it is, but I don't know. But it's just weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird, bro. It's just
I get it. You're caught in between a rock and a hard place, but
facts.
And that's kind of. Never mind. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it later.
Yes,
conversation for another day.
But the problem, the funny thing is you brought that up, and it blends great into my next quick topic.
What's up?
So we've all been out Christmas shopping,
for sure.
So we've all been out purchasing gifts, clothing, and different stuff like that for individuals. Have you seen these mannequins these days, bro?
Yes, bro.
Trust me, I had to do a couple takes. Like, I even told my wife, like, bro, that mannequin, boy, listen. She laughed at me, but I'm just saying, like, I know they're trying to sell it. They're trying to sell it as a true figure, but not all women are shaped like that. And it's like, it's just crazy. Have you noticed that?
Man, I have a 16-year-old daughter that shops in these stores. Yes, I've noticed them. And it's crazy. It's just crazy out here, man, because I mean, that just goes, like you said, it goes perfectly, man. Sex sells, man. And if they're but it's contradictory because there's so many different shapes and figures of women in this world. And just because it looks good on this shapely ass motherfucking mannequin don't mean it's gonna look good on you. So so you need to take that into account. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, like,
it's like the ideal figure, though, is what it is. And so,
it's the ideal figure to society.
That's okay. Okay, I guess I leave out verbiage here and there, but that's the point.
That's what you're getting at. That's what you're getting at. I got you.
But so since it's the ideal figure and it looks good on a mannequin, it's like, well, if it can look good on something that's not alive, well, then imagine what it looks like on you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Miss 350, you try to put that on then. Go do your thing. The fuck?
You went too far.
Hey,
I said, yeah, okay.
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. Miss 5'2", 350. You try to put that outfit on that's on this 5'6" or 120 pound mannequin. Yeah, all right. Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna look goofy as hell. But anyway, but my last quick hit is an actual kind of a conversation that I actually saw. And it's something that I don't know if you saw it, but it's something that Carrie Hilson posted on her page on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And she said that I don't believe that any relationship exists where two people are just naturally made perfect for each other. I feel like that's a damaging myth to our society. We're talking about two people with completely different backgrounds, family structures, foundations, experiences, different traumas, triggers, beliefs, etc. And I believe a healthy relationship takes work, compromise, sacrifice, self-awareness, understanding, patience, and even adjustments on both ends. What are your thoughts? What you think about that, D-Lo?
I agree. We talk about the complexities of an individual, and the name of our podcast is Too Complex, because we try to talk about complex topics. We try to acknowledge that there are, me and you are two individuals. While we have a lot of similarities, there are a ton of different complexities that make us different. For sure. And the same goes for a relationship, a relationship between man and woman, woman and woman, man and man, whatever the case may be.
Right.
In a relationship where you're working towards building a future together. And so, yes, I believe that every relationship requires work. I don't think that anybody is perfect for anybody. Like everybody, you always hear like, this is my soulmate. Well, you made them your soulmate. There's probably 10 other soulmates out there for you, if you are willing to put in the work and make sacrifices to make the relationship work. And so it's funny, me and my wife were talking about that, I think, last week or so. But yeah, you mean any relationship worth having is going to require work. You're going to go through your ebbs and flows in that relationship. You're going to go through times where you're super happy with them. And you're going to go through times where you probably, if you're married, if you're in a loving relationship, you probably don't really love that person. Like you're like, I don't want to be around him. But the goal of the relationship is to build something sustainable to where you push through those, because it's learning to love somebody for their flaws and for what you love them for. You gotta love it for everything. So I just think I agree with what Carrie Hilson said in that conversation, in that post, in the captions. Like there is no perfect person for you. You deal with, you create the things that are perfect for you. You create the situations in a relationship that you want that end up being perfect for you.
Facts. And I agree with Carrie too. I don't think it's a perfect person out there for everybody that's made perfectly for them. Like, like you said, the soulmate thing. Like me and my lady, we probably need to get back to it, but we used to use this app called Pattern. I don't know if you've heard of it or if you and your wife used it, but you can do a bond comparison between two people, and me and her did it, and the actual app said me and her were soulmates, and we were like, damn, for real, that's what's up. But it's not that we're two people with two different lives that are created to be perfect for each other. It's like the yin and the yang. It's like, puzzle pieces. You're different shapes, different sizes, different complexities, but you might be perfect for that person, perfect as a person for them. You know what I'm saying? But you do make compromises within the relationship, and you have, like you said, different backgrounds, different traumas and different things that you've built, and you have to make sacrifices and compromises within the relationship to make that relationship as perfect as you can, because nobody's perfect at all. Nobody's perfect, but you can be perfect for someone depending on how you make your compromises in that relationship and how you structure things within your lives to make things work. And if you let that person, you'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So I agree wholeheartedly with Carrie. You're not made perfect for someone, but you create the perfect situation, and that's how you roll it.
The funny thing about those apps and those websites, where you, especially back in the day, where you put in the name of a person, and you put in your name, and then you put in the name of another person, and you put in a couple of characteristics, and they determine if you're a perfect match or whatever. That's really just to make you get the good
tingles,
feeling about the tingles
the
about
tingles.
a situation. Realistically, how can a computer tell me that me and my wife are?
We've been talking about
perfect?
AI for so long, dog. You never.
Well, now, yeah, maybe now,
Yeah.
but I mean,
this was just earlier in the year, dog.
Yeah.
Just
no,
saying.
I'm not saying about y'all. I'm not saying that y'all.
Yeah. Nah.
I'm just saying it more than likely it's up until the last couple of years, it has been all about just giving you those tinglies. There was no real method of figuring out if somebody via the computer, I should say. Of somebody saying, oh, based off of this characteristic and this characteristic, we did some calculations and you guys are the perfect match. No.
I agree. It's just one of those things where I wasn't made perfectly for her. She wasn't made perfectly for me, but the compatibility of how we bring things together and compromise and sacrifice for each other can create a perfect situation. So I just wanted to bring that up real quick. You got any other quick hits that you want to talk about, brother? All right, well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the day, man. So again, we've talked about this before, that we probably played the wrong sport, dog. Played the wrong sports because this man, Shohei Ohtani, just received a $700 million contract for 10 years, which will theoretically, ideally warrant him $70 million a year, right? But the way he structured this contract, or the way his managers and his agent structured this contract, is that for the 10 years of the contract, he will only receive $2 million a year. And after he maybe retires after that 10 years, because he will be 40 at the time, and that's when most baseball players usually retire around 40, 41 years old, then he can leave Cali to a state that doesn't have state taxes and receive $68 million a year for the duration of his contract through 2034 and 2043. So, D-Lo, my question that I posed to you was, would you rather take a contract like this? Because California state taxes is 13% for the state and then 1% because of payroll tax. So that's 14% coming out your check basically every single time you get paid. Would you much rather have what Shohei has in place, or would you much rather have your money up front? What would you have? What do you think about this contract situation?
So I think most people would want to have the money up front, but I definitely would, if possible, I would rather have my money on the back end and deferred. And the reason that is because as long as the money that is given to me while I am playing is enough for me to sustain life, and even live a little bit luxurious and lavish. Oh yeah, right. You know what I mean? I'm good. But when I'm done working, I want to be able to just continue. Look at that, the thumb up button. But when I'm done working, I want to be able to do those same things, if not more, than when I was playing, because that's really when I'm able to enjoy my life. Because people think athletes live lives of doing whatever they want to because they only go to practice, but it's a lot of sacrifice, especially at the top of the game. And so you're not really able to enjoy it unless like small portions in the off season. So when I'm done, I want to be able to do whatever I want to, but I definitely would take it deferred. And the reason is because the money now is, well, it goes a little bit away, but if it has interest, which I think we don't know if his contract is going to be with interest yet, right?
I haven't seen that, so I would have to research that, but I haven't seen
and the reason I say with interest is because let's think about one of the well-known contracts, especially a baseball contract. There is Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla has not played baseball since 2005-ish, 2000, sometime in the early 2000s. He is still getting paid $1 million a year from the New York Mets, and will get paid $1 million a year, roughly a little bit more than $1 million a year, until 2035. He'll be 72 when they finish paying his contract, because they had to defer his payments. And it came with interest. Another person that I did not know had a deferred contract was Ken Griffey Jr.
Did not know that.
Ken Griffey Jr. is going to, after next year is his last payments that he'll get from the Cincinnati Reds. But since 2009, he has been receiving $3.5 million annually from the Cincinnati Reds because he deferred his contract. Give me my money deferred, bro. Because
facts,
if I can sit back and just chill, not really have to worry about anything after I'm retired.
Every year?
I'm good.
Hello. So I agree with you, D-Lo. As I continue to read this, because I was like what you said earlier. Most people, I was one of most people. I was like, nah, give me my 70 mil up front because I want my money. Run me my bread. But as I got to reading about this, especially in California, because they raise the taxes so high because there's so many high earning people in Cali that they use the high earners to pay off the budget, the deficits that's going on in California, which is, I guess, which is kind of bullshit, but I can understand why they're doing it. Because if you're making $100 million a year, some of these actors, or I ain't gonna say that's kind of OD, but if you're making so much money, you can afford to pay a little bit more in taxes, I guess I would say. Like
somebody, a lot of people out of California too, though.
Which is what happens. But then they also say a very small number of people make this money. So whenever a high income earner does leave, the budget in the state feels it, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But getting back to the topic, it's like, bruh, I would much rather have a deferred contract. I would much rather have a deferred contract because if I can say, okay, I can live comfortably off of $1 million or $2 million a year, and I have $68 million coming to me for the next 10 years after that, I would definitely move to Texas or Tennessee or Florida and say, I ain't got no state taxes. Don't take none of my bread. None of it. I'm leaving Cali ASAP. I'm going to let y'all tax this $20 million that I'm about to get for this next 10 years. Y'all can tax that. That's what? 213% is like $260,000 a year. Y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. What, $3 something million? Y'all can have that. But or maybe $4 million. I'm gonna do the math on that real quick. 260,000 times 10.
I mean, you definitely can look at it both ways.
2.6 million. Y'all can have that 2.6 million. Y'all can have that. But they're gonna miss out on like $98 million in taxes because he's deferring his contract, especially if he moves. So that's going to hurt their budget 100%. That's going to put them even further in the deficit because somebody making $700 million is leaving the state. I would 100% leave. I'm gone, bro. I'm in Florida or Tennessee or Texas ASAP because y'all not taking my bread, bro. Y'all done taxed my $20 million. Y'all had that $2.6 million. Y'all done taxed that. Take that 2.6 and get the hell out of my face. Straight up. Yeah. Y'all not taking no more of my bread.
I mean, you definitely can look at it the other way too, though, especially with the current era that we are economically with inflation being so high and, you know, the purchasing power that he can possibly have right now with having that money up front compared to where it could be in 10 years is going to be crazy. But I mean, I definitely, if I can make money while I'm not working, I don't have to worry about that, I think I'd take that situation no matter what inflation is going to look like because money is going to be money. You know, there are going to be individuals that don't have he's supposed to get 680 million is going to be deferred. So I don't know how they're going to spread that out if he's going to get that in a lump sum.
They said between 2034 and 2043, he'll get 68 million a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, it don't matter. Tell me, it don't matter what time frame you in. And I don't know what the value of the American dollar is going to be in 2043 or 2034, true. But would you still not want 68 million coming into your bank account every
100%. I would.
Exactly. So
but I would much rather it be tax free.
Yeah, no, 100%. The point I'm trying to make is the
value of the dollar isn't going up.
The talking point against him deferring is he's missing out on potential purchasing power right now with that 68 million. But it doesn't matter. I don't have to work for this money. Well, I guess I did work for it, but while I'm not working, thinking that he's going to retire at that point, and I'm getting $68 million. I'm chilling, and $68 million is coming into my bank account. Whether I have a ton of purchasing power or not, I have $68 million where I can make purchasing power for me in the future if I invest it right.
Okay, I got 2 questions for you, D-Lo.
Yeah.
2 questions. Would you much rather have $2.6 million taken from your paycheck or $91 million taken from your paycheck?
Huh?
Would you much rather have answer the question? Which one would you much rather have? 91 million taken from you or 2.6 million taken from you?
How can wait? Because we got to.
So this is why I asked that question. So if he was to actually take his money up front and get 70 million per year, over the 10 years, he would be taxed $91 million.
Okay.
I
got you.
With him deferring it, he's only being taxed over 10 years, $2.6 million. So would you? So you would
only getting $2 million a year.
So would you
definitely is 2.6,
right?
That's easy.
So imagine. So the next question: What would you move from California in 2034 to a non-state tax state, collect that 68 million over that 10 years, and take that money to Japan, where he's from? Because our dollar is worth more. Sure. Our dollar is worth more than Japan's is. So he is the most wealthy man in the world at that point. Like,
well, yes. If he takes it, so okay, what we're talking about really is the state taxes of California, and then him going to whatever. Theoretically, if he stayed in the states, him going to one of the no tax states. We're talking about the state income. Regardless of the state income, federal still gonna get their money, regardless of how that comes, right?
True. I don't think it's 13. I don't think it's 14%.
Yeah, it's probably like 22% or something like that, 34%. I don't know the tax code, tax brackets, but is gonna be. They're gonna get their money. They're going to get their money. So if he takes it offshore, they're definitely going to get their money. So it doesn't. I'm
talking about collecting it over the 10 years. And then taking it in 2043, then taking it back home to Japan.
Yeah, I mean, they're still going to take it for that time frame that he gets.
Yeah. I know what you mean. So, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So he might be getting away with paying California state taxes, but he's still getting hit with federal taxes.
True. So,
regardless, I would rather have my payments deferred and give me the ability to decide where I want to live and how I want to be taxed. And if I can not do anything and bring in a paycheck like $68 million a year,
God damn.
I'm good.
We played the wrong sport, Tito.
100%.
We played the wrong sport, bro. Because please, after doing research on this, bro, please defer my contract. Please defer the fuck out that shit. If I'm yes, I can.
If it's this type of contract,
well, even if it's okay. Say for instance, so somebody like me who's not. I'm not necessarily frugal because I spend money. Obviously, my downfall is my sneakers, and I spend a lot of money on my sneakers. So I'm not necessarily frugal, but I'm very simple. So say for instance, if I sign a contract for $50 million, right, and I say, okay, I want to over the first 10 years, I want to collect $5 million, and if I feel like I can live comfortably off of $500,000 a year, which anybody can, I would defer that $45 million, 100%. And I say after that, I want $5 million a year over the next 9 years, or however much it will cost so 4.5 over the next 10. Yes, I would do that 100%. It ain't got to be 700 million. And I'm pretty sure Shohei's probably does.
Yeah.
I'm sure
to that mug.
Hell yeah. I'm sure Shohei's does. We just don't have the information on that. We apologize. But just looking at the 700 million deferred to 68 million a year after 2034 is crazy. Right. That is amazing, bro.
So I was asking, and I was saying, as long as it's a contract like this, because we both do fairly well for ourselves, but don't try to give me a little bit right now, and then I'm deferring my payment when I leave. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying major contracts like this, or like what you brought up, the $50 million contracts. Yeah, those type of contracts, I can defer that. But off of what we make, I'm not trying to defer anything. Nah,
give me my money up front right now, brother.
Yeah, feel me.
Give me all my bread, nigga. I'm claiming as little as possible so I can get as much as I can on my taxes, nigga. What?
You feel me?
You crazy as hell. What? Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, man. So moving to Bronny James.
Yes, sir.
Bronny James played his first game last Sunday. Last Sunday he played his first game. So after a cardiac arrest scare that scared his family as well as most of the sports world in July of 2023, July of this year, Bronny James played his first collegiate game, scoring 4 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, and 2 steals in 17 minutes. Sticks. I think you're more tied to this story than I was. Like I knew about it, but I didn't watch the game or anything like that. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? How Bronny has come back from the scare, how he played, so on and so forth.
I think so. The direction I was going with this topic was I think this is more. I think this means more for LeBron's legacy than it does for Bronny's.
What?
And I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna give all props to Bronny before I explain that statement. So, and I think you probably understand where I'm going with this. So,
I don't. I'm lost.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. Please. Cool. That's good. Yeah. That's good. I need that. I need that mystique about the statement. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give a shout out to Bronny because I can't even imagine me at my age having a heart attack or going into cardiac arrest, and him being 19 having that situation happen. That had to be the scariest moment of his life, and I know it scared the hell out of the family too. You know what I'm saying? Savannah, LeBron, his siblings, I know they were scared as hell to see, damn, my super duper healthy brother my son is having a heart attack. Like, what the hell? Like, how the hell? And what I can attest to is being a college athlete, some of these workouts were extreme. So I'm not putting this on USC. I'm not saying that they're at fault for what happened. It could have been something with his health. It could have been something of that nature. I'm just saying that if he did have a health issue and they going through those extreme workouts, it could have contributed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not putting it on USC. I'm not denigrating them at all for this. So he played well, man. I didn't necessarily watch the game. I definitely watched the highlights because I'm not real big on college basketball until March Madness, to be perfectly honest. And my favorite team in NCAA men's basketball has been not too good over the past few years, which is Syracuse. So they haven't been very, very good at all. And it's kind of crazy me saying that being from North Carolina. And all my family cusses me out about it, except for my aunt's husband. He is a Syracuse fan too. So we be on the same page.
You like who you like.
You like who you like. And he actually played well in 17 minutes. He contributed. They had him on a pitch count because of what happened with the cardiac arrest scare. They had him on a little bit of a minute restriction, and he played well with the 4 points. He hit a big three, hit a free throw, had to play really, really well on defense, had 2 steals and a block that was on SportsCenter. I know everybody probably saw who's watching this video right now because it's 98% men. Duh. But he played very, very well, man. And I give big ups to going through that to Bronny and coming out and still being nice on the court as a freshman at USC. And I see his minutes and his production getting better as the season goes on. Now, the reason why I said that this is a little bit more for LeBron's legacy than it is for Bronny's, because this is what LeBron is waiting for. LeBron literally is staying in the league until he can play with Bronny. So if this would have been a worse situation for Bronny to where he couldn't play ball no more, what is LeBron playing for? Honestly, LeBron is already the GOAT. He already is the league leader in points over a career. The NBA record holder for points in a career. He's top 5 or top 10 in every statistical category. Everybody has him 1A, 1B with Michael Jordan in the league. He has been vocal in many arenas saying that he's waiting to play with his son, and his son couldn't overcome this situation. And now that we see that he has overcome it, and he's going to be great, and most likely going to go to the league, which is going to be really big for whatever team takes Bronny, because that's going to probably bring LeBron too, or LeBron is going to make a way for Bronny to come wherever the hell he is. It's going to be really big for the league in that sense. This is bigger for LeBron, because if he couldn't play with Bronny, what is LeBron still playing for? Past 21 years, honestly. He don't have to do anything else other than him just playing for the love of the game, but he wants to play with his son. So that's why I say it's bigger for Bron's legacy than it is for Bronny's legacy. But what you think about that, Dilo?
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
You think it's a stretch? Okay. I mean, I could be stretching. I could be stretching. Yeah.
You in Pilates right now?
I'm
yoga.
Pause.
No, I think it. Yeah. Pause on that one. I think it's a bit of a stretch, just because. Okay, let's say Bronny wasn't able to play basketball anymore after this scare.
Mm-hmm.
Then LeBron would say, and it's a hypothetical, but I still think it's a stretch. He would just, but he's already said it, is, well, I'll just wait to play when Bryce gets in the league, has the opportunity to play in the league. And Bryce is a sophomore right now. He's already said he wants to try to play with Bryce as well. He's already said it. So
that's a stretch for LeBron.
Well, I mean, based off of how he's playing now, if they put him on a true pitch count,
that would put him at 25 years before Bryce even gets in the league, and then another 26th year for him to play with him. That's crazy.
Listen, man, LeBron as of lately has been on this. I'm trying to beat Father Time.
He has. So, you're right.
He is going to, if Bryce was not able, if Bronny was not able to play, I think he would just say, all right, well, I want to try to play with Bryce. And I don't think Bronny still being able to play has anything to do with Bron's legacy. Although I do see what you were saying as far as he has nothing else to play for, and it helps to stamp his legacy to be able to play with his son and continue to add to all of the accolades that he already has. You say he's the GOAT. A lot say that he's the GOAT, so on and so forth. I just think this is inspiring.
100%, yes, sir.
Because in the same boat as you, not with LeBron's legacy, Bronny really does not have to play basketball.
He doesn't. That's true.
You know what I mean? He's already set. I'm sure there's some form of fashion where if Bronny could not play basketball whatsoever, something could be some
endorsements. He already started streaming recently too. A couple of years
something
back.
Could be put in motion where he don't have to worry about it. He's gonna be set. You know what I mean? Where he can still do stuff on his own, make his own name, not have to be like under LeBron, but even if he didn't, I'm sure LeBron has something set up for all those kids to where they good. They don't 100%. Have to work if they don't want to. So I feel like him being that person, not having to play if he don't want to, but still, in my imagination, in my mind, I feel like he's trying to make his own way, have his own experiences through basketball, and not really live off the hype of his dad, the experiences that his dad made for the family. I feel like this is inspiring in itself.
I think it is definitely an inspiration, man. And for a lot of, you hear every year, mostly football players, but some basketball players too. You hear every year how, heat exhaustion has taken somebody out, or somebody had a stroke on the field, or, went into cardiac arrest possibly, and they don't overcome it. Shout out to them. Rest in peace to all of those guys who have, had the field take their lives. But Bronny has overcome that, and he has had a health scare already at 19 years old, and has overcome it, and is inspiring younger generations to keep fighting and keep working towards your dreams. If you want to, anything that you want to do can be done regardless of what type of adversity is thrown in your way. So I think it's definitely 100% inspiring that Bronny came through this, and, it's helping his daddy legacy too, a little bit.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, if you feel that way, you feel that way. I'm not judging you. I think it's a stress. Yeah. But let me ask you this. So you said that you think he is going to the league, and he very well, I think he is too. You think he's leaving after the first year now still?
Depending upon how his production goes throughout the year after they take him off of the pitch count, the minute restriction, and actually, involve him more into the team and into the offense, or into the playbook. I think if depending on his production, I think he would one and done it, to be honest. I think if he decides to declare for the league, he's going to the league regardless, honestly. It might not be lottery or first round. It might be a second round pick possibly, but I think he's going to the league regardless. I think he has that much hype, and then of course who his damn daddy is. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron has a lot of pull when it comes to the NBA. I don't know if he, the teams that he's on possibly, but I mean, but the crazy thing is, and this is going to kind of take away from Bronny a little bit because he's definitely got skill. say for instance, he does go into the draft. Do you know how much money that would bring any organization for them to have Bronny and LeBron? We talk about it all the time. These organizations, these are big money businesses, bro. Mm-hmm. So for them to have Bronny and LeBron, ticket sales go crazy. Paraphernalia sales go not legal paraphernalia sales go crazy. Like, courtside seats, season tickets, jersey sales, ticket sales, all of that's gonna go stupid. The Bronny's going to the league regardless, just because of the money, not necessarily, and not to take away from the talent that he has, but not necessarily his talent, but for somebody to possibly have LeBron and his son on the team, that's money for that organization regardless. So yes, I think he's going to the league. I don't necessarily believe that he's going to get. I honestly don't think he's getting drafted off his talent alone. He's getting drafted off of the name of his dad and how much money he can bring to NBA and that organization that has both of them. So yes, I think he's going to the league. Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that. I don't think he's one and done. I think he's coming back. Just because the NBA does like these extensive, all professional leagues, before you're drafted, before you're in that pool, they do these extensive medical exams.
Oh yeah,
I think he's gonna exactly. I think he's going to have to. I think he still has some things to work out, and still play well enough that people can say, okay, LeBron is not the reason that he was picked up or that he has this opportunity. He actually has the production to be in this league or to even be drafted or in the draft pool or whatever the case may be. Because again, no matter what he does, he could be a top 10 player to NCAA, or he could be a bottom 10 player in NCAA. People are going to say, no matter what, well, the only reason he got this opportunity is because of LeBron James and everything else that he did. And now it makes it easier if he is a top 10 player in the NCAA, but he's definitely going to get ridiculed no matter what. And so I feel like he's going to have to stay another year, if we're being realistic, to continue to work out all of the kinks that he has. I shouldn't say kinks. That's not good wording, but continue to, build up his health back up to where it was. And to also, because I'm like you, he's depending on what they do with his minutes restrictions, which I think they're probably going to keep it low, especially him coming back so quickly. Because is DeMar Hamlin playing this year? I haven't kept up with that.
He's playing, but he's not as productive as he was prior to that injury.
So right, and so I think him coming back as quickly as he did, even though basketball isn't as much of a contact sport as football, there are going to be some concerns with that. And so I think he's going to have to, the minutes are going to continue to be what they are. They'll increase a little bit, but not much beyond that.
Yeah. And Bronny has already tried to kind of separate his legacy from his dad's by changing his name to Bronny as opposed to the junior thing. And, I agree. I can side with what you're saying, but I think if he does come out one and done, then he's going to the league regardless because of his dad is the business side. But if he does stay and like you said, get his skills right, be one of the top players in the nation over time, I think he'll go because of his skill rather than because of his dad's legacy. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. I can agree with that. So moving into the next topic, man, this dude Draymond, bro. I think this dude Draymond got some problems. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think this boy Draymond got some problems. So he was just in the news a month ago for choking out Rudy Gobert. We talked about that kind of briefly in one of the episodes. Now he's in the news again and has been suspended indefinitely. They haven't said how long he's going to be suspended and what he has to do to come back to the team yet, but he's been suspended for slapping, which he want to say is unintentional, but we'll talk about that here in a second, for slapping or punching, what it looked like a punch to me, for punching Yusuf Nurkic in the face. So, bruh, like, does this dude have a problem, bro? And I also want to ask this too. Is he doing this to people he know ain't going to retaliate? That's what I want to ask too.
Okay. So I was one of those individuals that kind of defended Draymond.
You were.
When he choked out. I say choked out, but when he choked.
He choked him basically, but he ain't
Rudy Gobert
earlier
this year. Boy, was I wrong for doing that. God, dog, I was wrong. Yes, Draymond has an issue, and I think Draymond really he when the heat of battle increases and when the Warriors' offense is stymied and whatnot, he just lashes out, is impulsive at whatever sets him off or whatever he feels like he can get a reaction out of somebody. Because I think, and I also think he thinks he's a better actor than what he is. And
That's what he do.
Case in point is this recent incident with Nurkic, right? Yusuf Nurkic. I guess he tried to make it seem like he was trying to swing out of Nurkic grabbing his waist. That was such a blatant punch or slap, blatant. Whatever you want to call it. And then also when he stomped Sabonis last year in the playoffs, he tried to make it seem like he tried to jump over him, but just misstepped and stepped on his chest. Bro, you literally stepped on this man's chest. Yeah. He definitely has a problem. I think the point that I was making when I said when the offense is stymied, you made a point a couple weeks ago. You brought up this point that when Steph is out, Draymond always finds a way to get kicked out. I think that they go hand in hand. When the offense is stymied, he gets kind of he gets so frustrated because it's not running smoothly because he's the quote unquote playmaker, and so he gets frustrated and it just he lashes out. I don't know how else to explain it, but yes, Draymond definitely has an issue. He has a problem. I do also think that Draymond does do these type of things to people that he feels are good natured and won't really lash back out at him. But I mean, you say that, and he was messing with Steven Adams, who nobody messes with Steven Adams.
He's such a quiet guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But also everybody knows Steven Adams is probably one of the strongest individuals in the league.
100%.
So he was messing with Steven Adams. So and had altercations with Steven Adams. So I don't know if I can say yes 100%. Like he's lashing out at people he knows won't do anything to him, but it does seem that way because he doesn't do it a lot to people that are known to be with the shits.
Right. And Steven Adams, although physically we know Steven Adams could probably put Draymond down. Probably. I ain't gonna say that because Draymond, right. he might have some hands, you feel me? Pause. He might have some hands or whatever, but I think that Steven Adams would just overpower him. I think Steven Adams, if he got mad enough, he would beat the brakes off of Draymond. I just don't like Draymond personally, but that's just because I don't like the type of player he is. But on the court, off the court, he's pretty cool. But on the court, I can't stand Draymond Green. Mm. But the reason why I say he's doing this to people who he know won't retaliate is because Steven Adams is a quiet player. So is Sabonis. So is Nurkic. So is Rudy Gobert. People who he know will not do anything to jeopardize their career because they know Draymond don't give a fuck. Mm. So, but you see what happened in the playoffs whenever LeBron was still with the Cavs. LeBron, he did something to LeBron one game, and LeBron came back and was playing dirty back with him. You know what I'm saying? And ended up getting him suspended for one of those games in that series. So it's just funny because he just does. I've never seen a player with a dirtier highlight film than Draymond Green. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's circulating all over social media that Draymond Green has one of the dirtiest highlight reels I've ever seen in my life. Even going back to like the bad boy Pistons of the late 80s and even the Pistons that won a championship in the early 2000s. It's like those players played hard, but they didn't play like, well, the bad boy Pistons did back in the late 80s. But the 2000s Pistons that won that championship, they didn't play as bad as dirty as what Draymond is playing. But I feel like he's trying to have that moxie about him. I'm one of them bad boys. I'm trying to bring the physicality of the NBA back. And with the rules that they have in the league right now, you can't do that, bro. You can't be that. You can't be that player that you can't try to mimic a player from the late 80s, early 90s in this league right now because it's so much softer. It's so much touchier. You can't do a lot of different things. You can't hand check no more. You can't. You can flop now. It's like a lot of bullshit that you can do in the league now. You can't
flop right now.
Well, you can't flop because you'll get if it's blatant flop, you'll get fined and you probably might get suspended or whatever. But you can literally act If I guess that's the better word to say. You can literally act, or you can sell a call, so to speak. Couldn't do that back in the early 80s. And he thinks he's the best.
Emmy award winning.
Nigga, what? He thinks he's Oscar winning with the way he playing. He is so obvious with what he doing. Like everybody everybody watching can tell that you're doing this on purpose. But I just think he needs help, bro. I think he needs to learn how to handle his emotions, because he gets so overly emotional that he just, like you said, he lashes out. And just like with him punching Jordan Poole in the face and got Jordan Poole up out of there. You know, you would say the punch got him up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Punch got him up out of there. and got Jordan Poole playing all kind of differently.
I promise you, that boy Jordan Poole got CTE the way he playing in Washington from the punch. But not only did he just plays so weird. Like, he just last year, you know, in March from the last season, he got over the limit with his 16th technical foul for throwing a basketball at Russell Westbrook's head. Like, why are you doing things like this? Like, why are you being such a child on the court, bro? He just seems so like a brat. I don't know how much else to explain it, but he just needs some help. Like, he don't understand how to suppress his emotions in the moment and use it for positive. Because I think
he's impulsive.
He's very much so. That's the word I was kind of looking for. I appreciate that. He's very impulsive with his emotions on the court and in the heat of battle, because he just lashes out. And and we talked about this before. It might have been the same segment we were talking about. I've never seen on any of our teams when we were playing in high school or even in college where it got this bad. Especially maybe in practice, it might have got a little heated, but in the heat of the game, it never got like this. Nobody. I've never seen anybody in the heat of the game play like Draymond Green plays. Never seen it.
We've had some agitators on our team.
We had some agitators.
He wasn't the one I'm thinking about. He wasn't as dirty, or was he?
Who?
Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Oh, you talking about AC?
Yeah. I mean, he was an agitator.
He was an agitator, but he wasn't dirty.
Yeah. Nah, he wasn't dirty.
On the basketball court, that man probably fouled out every. Shout out our boy Aaron Curry, AC, man, out there in Pittsburgh, man. Shout out our boy. But yeah, he was definitely an agitator, though.
Yeah, he's an agitator.
That man was playing linebacker on the court.
100%.
100%. I hope he watched this. My question to you is, so we know he's suspended indefinitely. Correct.
Who knows what that means? Mm-hmm. How long do you think he'll be suspended? Because last time he got suspended, 5 games, I believe you said, and a fine. Okay.
Yep.
How long does he get suspended for this time?
I don't think it'd be as bad as, say, like your John Morant 25 game suspension. I think it'd be similar to what Kyrie got whenever he posted that documentary about the anti-Semitic stuff. He's going to be suspended up until he completes what he needs to complete as far as like counseling, anger management classes, some other things possibly to get back on the court. But I think they'll give him, I would say 10, 12 games.
10 games?
10, 12 games, and then complete these steps to get back on the court. And you can't get back on the court until you complete these steps.
Right, because he has to go to an anger management class
and a counseling and a therapist. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think they get 10, 12 games possibly. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay. I was thinking, so he did 5 last time. I was thinking like 8 to 10. So yeah, I think we're in the same boat with that.
For sure.
My next question is, do you think he's finished in the Bay?
It's an amazing question, D-Lo. Yes. With the way that he's playing and the way that the team is playing overall, I think that him, and he's not in this conversation, but I think him and Klay done. I think they keep Steph going to a rebuild after this year, honestly. Especially if they don't make the playoffs.
Damn, is Steph going to be with that, though? So I guess
I think Steph is a lifer
to be whatever we talking about. He would need to be. It would be good for him to be a lifer, but would he want to go through that with
the rebuild?
Yeah,
he been doing it one time already. At the beginning of the year,
exactly. He did it one time already. Will he want to do it again? Is my question. Will he want to go through those tough years of pains? People talking about, is Steph Curry's career over with, or does this hurt his, because now you put him in those legacy conversations. Will he want to be with that, or is what I read a couple of weeks ago true? Does he in fact go somewhere else? And because he doesn't want to re-sign with the Warriors that are going through a rebuild, and they don't want to pay him the amount of money they want to play him. They want to pull in, or they need to pay him. They want to pull in as much talent as they can.
I maybe. I mean, because I think Steph has the mental toughness to go through the bullshit. I don't think he really listens to the what word am I looking for? I don't think
critics.
he listens to the critics. There you go. I don't think he listens to the media, the critics that often. I think he has the mental toughness to go through it again. And if they're going to keep anybody, they got to keep Steph.
Yeah.
Who's considered by a lot of different people too as one of the greatest of all time. So if they're going to keep anybody, they're going to have to pay Steph and try to rebuild and bring in, get draft picks and bring in different people. So I think they get rid of Clay because Clay ain't played well since that injury. He ain't played. He honestly been some ass. It's funny because I was watching it. Like I said, Clay ain't about this, and I'm about to get back to Draymond in a second. But I was watching It Is What It Is on the way to work, and they always do like these underdog fantasy picks. And they was clowning Clay because underdog fantasy was putting stats together to try to get Clay to be productive. So they was like, do you think he gets 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists? And they was like, yo, they play with your name, Clay. They fucking with you, Clay. They trying to figure out a way to get you to be productive, dog. They fucking with you, Clay. But Clay, he ain't played well. And I think they need to get rid of Clay, get out of that big contract that they gave Clay a couple of years back, get out of the contract with Draymond, and rebuild around Steph, bro. And I know Steph is, this kind of feels weird to say that because he's still playing well, but I know he's kind of like on the, not that he's not still in his prime or whatever people want to call it, but he's still on the back end of his career because he's been in the league, 15 years now? 15 years, I think. I think 14. He because I played against Steph when I played in 2008. So this would be his 15th year, right?
He left in 2009, 2010, didn't he? So this would be like his
14th, yeah, I think you might be right.
13, 14th year.
13, 14th year. Yeah. So so I think they rebuild. I think they get rid of Draymond and rebuild this. And I don't know where Draymond goes. I don't know who would pick up Draymond to deal with the bullshit unless he actually gets his act together over this time that he's going to be suspended. But I don't know who picks up Draymond. I think if they do release Draymond, I'm gonna go on the record to say this is his last year in the league because I don't think nobody want to pick him up.
I was thinking that too, but somebody will pick him up, not give him a healthy contract.
They give him a vet minimum. Contract. He'll get a vet minimum, I think. Honestly.
He'll get more than a vet minimum.
You think so?
He'll get a good contract. He won't get a healthy contract. And as soon as he displays any type of this stuff, they'll get him out of here. He'll still get his money as NBA contracts are guaranteed, but they'll get him out of there quick. They're not going to deal with it like Golden State has dealt with it for over the years.
Makes sense. I think he might be done in Golden State though for sure.
Oh, right. After scoring 64 points against the Indiana Pacers, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I hope I said that right. I said that right.
That was a good job.
Gets into an argument and altercation with members of the NBA Pacers team after they took the game ball. So the question that's posed for this, Sticks, is who deserves the game ball more? A rookie scoring his first NBA basket, Dame passing Kyle Korver on the three-point list, or Giannis who scored 64 points in one game?
So the two latter deserve it more, period. But so I would have given the game ball to either Giannis or Dame. Giannis came out and said that the ball wasn't for him anyway. The ball was for Dame. But regardless if it was for Dame or Giannis, the rookie scoring his first basket in the NBA, yes, that's a milestone for him individually, but Giannis just broke the record for the most points in that organization and his career high in that game. And Dame Dollar became in the top 5 all time in 3-pointers made. So those two accolades far supersede your first basket in the league, period. But now my first reaction to this situation was, yo, Giannis, you overreacted crazy, dog. Like, you poking Halliburton in his chest and you going at coaches and you running in the locker room trying to find a basketball, bro. Like, I understand that you went crazy in this game and you got back at them for the semifinals game in the in-season tournament because obviously, Giannis didn't understand the ramifications of the in-season tournament because he was oblivious to a lot of shit that was going on in the in-season tournament. He just didn't understand nothing. He didn't understand they was getting money. He didn't know that there was a trophy involved. He didn't know nothing, bro. I don't know how he don't know because the jersey's changing, the court is changing. It says in-season tournament on the court. This is a lot of different shit that shows you that there's something important about this. So you just oblivious as hell. But you balled out, bro. Like 64 points, 14 rebounds. You was going stupid. And you got your payback. You got your get back. You got your lick back, my dog. You did. But you ain't had to get your lick back after the game because you wanted to fight. Your brother was trying to fight. Everybody was trying to fight over a basketball, dog. Now, it was just a lot of overreaction over this basketball. Now, I commend Giannis for wanting to give it to Dame, even though he also deserved the basketball. But I can also understand why this rookie wanted to have the pill. But it's memorabilia, bro. At the end of the day, it's memorabilia. What you gonna do with it after you got it? You gonna get it, you're gonna sign it, you're gonna get it stamped with what the occasion was, and you're gonna put it in a glass case and put it in your house. Cool. You're gonna give it to your mama, your brother, your cousin, your sister, your girl, whatever. But what you gonna do with it after that? Or you gonna sell it? Yeah, true. You might be able to make a little bit of money, but Giannis and Dame gonna make more than the rookie.
So it depends on who the rookie is. So I feel like it's a matter of perspective. And if I cut you off, I apologize.
No, you good. Go ahead. I was done.
Okay, I think it's a matter of perspective because a rookie scoring their first
Oscar Tshiebwe. Who is that?
Okay. I don't know. Well, the reason I said it depends on who the rookie was that scored is because if it's LeBron's first basket, then it's like him having that ball and selling it, that's going to be millions of dollars. Or Jordan's first NBA basket, if they have the basketball that he scored his first point with, that's going to be worth millions of dollars as well. So I think like it just depends on who the rookie is. The person that you just mentioned, probably not going to be worth more. Dame and Giannis, Dame being in the top 5 scoring, him having that ball and selling it, Giannis scoring 64 points, his career high, as well as the Milwaukee Bucks organization high for points, which is crazy because they had they had
Kareem.
Oscar Robertson play for them. They had Kareem play for him. He has the organization's all-time points or most points in the game. That's pretty crazy. But I feel like it's a matter of perspective, though, because a rookie scoring their first basket in the league is pretty significant because we already know it's 3 in 10,000 individuals out of 10,000 high school basketball players. Only 3 of them will probably make it to the NBA, right? And then you actually score in the league. That's pretty significant. And the percentages are outrageous. But I mean, in the same breath, being top 5 in all-time threes made in your career is definitely significant.
Super significant.
Scoring 60 points in a game is significant. So I just think it really is just a matter of perspective. But this is also why I think out of all of the things the 2 leagues do, this is one thing that the NFL does better than the NBA. The NFL have multiple footballs in rotation that they play with. You'll see after the game, I don't know if you watch Hard Knocks or not, but the Miami Dolphins, they give out like 3, 4, 5 game balls out after because they have so many footballs in rotation during the game. I know it could be a little bit more difficult in basketball, but you definitely could have 2 or 3 balls.
You definitely could
in rotation, in the game, right?
Right.
Because then you would alleviate potentially having this issue. Because you made a point earlier. You said Giannis, this was his career high in points. It could be somebody's career high every night.
It could be
in points,
100%.
And so them wanting to have the ball. It's not every night that somebody is going to be moved into the top 5 or 3 points made in their career. So I think Dame, out of everybody, probably deserved it more than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all a matter of perspective.
And
the NFL does it better than the NBA when it comes to how they do the game balls and whatnot.
I agree. And you mentioned with the Milwaukee Bucks having Oscar Robertson played for them, Kareem played for them. Do you know who owned the franchise record in points prior to Giannis beating it?
Mm-mm.
Michael Redd. With 57. So
Michael Redd was nasty. Probably one of the most underrated players. Him and Brandon Roy, that era of basketball. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's underrated.
The super underrated. So, I mean, it's just it's weird, bro. Can you hear echo?
Mm-mm.
You know, okay, good. All right, it's weird. It was just a weird situation because I think again he overreacted. Giannis overreacted to me.
Yeah,
he overreacted.
Going in the locker room is
going
crazy.
in the locker room is OD, and they talk about they may suspend him for doing that. A game or two, possibly. I don't know, but they have.
Why would they do that though? Because of the hostility behind it.
Because he elevated a altercation. Same thing they did with Draymond. They gave him 5 games because he escalated an on-court altercation. So I don't think they go give him 5 games, but I think they might suspend him a game or so, something like that, possibly.
Yeah.
But they may suspend him. But I just think it was an overreaction altogether. And Giannis, although he meant well, he went about it the wrong way for sure. Like dead ass went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how I want to talk about the next topic, bro. But let's just get into it because I suggested it. There is a woman boxer who is a very good boxer. She's a very good boxer. She is, as of right. She started off at MMA, but as of right now, she has won a couple of Olympic gold medals. And in her professional boxing career, she is 14-0 with 2 knockouts in the women's division. But here recently, over the past couple of years, bro, she's been calling out a lot of very good male boxers, saying that she can put paws on these men. So she's called out Keith Thurman. She's called out Triple G. She's called out Sean Porter. She's called out Jake Paul, saying that she can literally beat them in a fight. So D-Lo, my question to you is, what do you think about do these male boxers have anything to gain from actually taking her request to fight them professionally, whether it's pay-per-view, whether it's for charity, whatever? And a couple of these people said that they would do it under and they would say what they would do. But what do you think about this whole situation with Claressa Shields?
So the first place I went.
Where'd you go, brother?
I think it's all for pub for her and for women's boxing. Because we know boxing as a whole sport has been in the decline for the past decade or so. It's just like they have their spikes here and there, but overall boxing has gone down. So if male boxing has gone down, we can only imagine what women's boxing is. And you have some of your stars that are starting to pop up in women's boxing now. Mm-hmm. You have Alicia Bumgardner.
You have Claressa Shields. Yep.
You have Claressa Shields, so on and so forth. But I feel like it's just pub for women's boxing and for Claressa Shields, because we all know somebody's talking. The dog that's barking, the wheel that squeaks the most gets the most attention. Mm-hmm. And so
squeaky wheel gets the oil, yeah.
You feel me? So she's getting all of that attention on herself, and it's no better way to do it than to say, me as a woman can beat a man in the boxing ring. I mean, it's definitely, I feel like, in my opinion, it's definitely pub for women and Claressa Shields to get that.
Now,
because she made some bold claims.
She made some real bold claims. Yeah, she did.
Like you said, the last one that made me really believe it's just for pub, and I I'm not saying I don't think he's a legitimate boxer because he just knocked somebody out last night.
Talking about Jake Paul, yeah.
Jake Paul. But Jake Paul has been known for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
She's just taking a page out of his book. You know what I mean? So that's what I was like, oh, this is for pub. She said Jake Paul. But it's because he's way bigger than her too. Like
But the crazy thing is that Jake Paul is about 6'3", 215, something
exactly.
like that. Yeah, he's not a small cat. Like he's a big dude. Yeah. But so I mean, but it's this is the way that I went with this is that somebody like me, I ain't gonna say I'm a fighter, but I'm not as technically sound. Like I'm not gonna get in there and I beat her technically, but she might be able to piece me up, but she ain't piecing up no Jake Paul or no, you know what I'm saying? Like, or no Keith Thurman, who now I'm gonna give you a couple of stats. Keith Thurman is a former unified welterweight world champion, holding 2 titles, WBA title from 2015-2019, super champion in 2017, and a WBC title from 2017 to 2018. As of July 2020, he's ranked the world's 5th best active welterweight. Mm-hmm. Keith Thurman, as of right now, is 30-1 with 22 knockouts in the men's division. Triple G was ranked one of the best boxers for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And he was renowned one of the best boxers for a good little while, but ranked as the world's best boxer pound for pound from September 17th to September 2017 to 18 by Ring Magazine. And as of March 2023 is ranked as the world's 5th best active boxer pound for pound by Boxing Rec in the middleweight division. Now, Keith Thurman is a welterweight. Middleweight is a little bit heavier. Triple G is 42-2 with 37 knockouts. Sean Porter, 2-time welterweight champion in the IBF from 2013 to 2014, WBC title from 2018 to 2019, known for his aggressive pressure fighting style, physical strength, and high work rate. 26-4, 31 knockouts. Jake Paul.
How is he 26-4 and he has 31 knockouts?
36. Did I say 26?
Yeah, you said
okay. 36-4, 31 knockouts.
I got you.
Jake Paul is now 8-1 with 5 knockouts. Now, mind you, it's a lot of charity events, kind of troll kind of fights, but the more Jake Paul fights, the better he looks. Not gonna lie. He just knocked somebody out, 2 days ago? Yesterday, 2 days ago?
Something like that. So it was recent.
8-1, 5 knockouts. To keep it, to put it in a little bit of perspective, welterweight is at 147. Super welterweight is at 150. This is pounds. 147 pounds. Super welterweight is at 154 pounds. Middleweight is at 160. Super middleweight is at 168. All these guys that I just named, except for Jake Paul, I don't know what he talks. If he's 215, he's heavyweight. So because heavyweight is 200 and above. So all these guys are welterweight or middleweight or super middleweight. Are these guys are heavier than what Claressa Shields is, and she's talking like she wants to fight them at 154. So she would have to gain 20 pounds to fight these guys. Now, I don't want to go on a rant about no woman can beat a man in the fight because men are biologically stronger and yada yada yada. We see that about the transgenders in sports and how they dominate women's sports and this, that, and the third. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to get into all that. But for a professional boxer, these men will put paws on Claressa with no problem, and probably won't even. They would probably, but the thing is, and the question that I asked earlier at the beginning of the segment, they wouldn't even have anything to gain from fighting her. So they just letting her yap because they know that they will put paws on her, bro. Like they could see, but Keith Thurman actually responded and it was like, we can fight for whatever charity you want to fight for. I'll probably just use my jab. You can actually wear sparring gear on your sparring helmet if you want to, and I might just use one arm. He was like, I could just, because he know that if he really went hard, he busting Claressa ass. All of these 4 boxers will, even Jake Paul will bust Claressa ass, I think. So it's like, but like you said, it's probably publicity, probably just bringing a little bit more attention to her and the women's boxing arena and just doing it like that. But dog, Claressa, she's even more mad that a video from 5 years ago surfaced with her getting knocked the fuck out by a sparring partner that was a man that nobody knows about. So imagine what somebody like Triple G would do to you, Claressa. So stop playing, bro. Like you gonna get touched up, and they probably not even gonna go crazy hard. They gonna jab you, maybe give you one quick hook or uppercut or something, and just leave you alone because they know they can do you dirty if they really want to. So that's just my take on it. What you think, bro?
Yeah, I mean, you know, women athletes, especially those that feel like they're at the top of their sport, they can get a bit delusional sometimes. I remember Brittany Griner saying that she can beat
Boogie Cousins,
DeMarcus Cousins in the game.
Yeah, facts.
And I mean, like they can become delusional. You know, they work out consistently.
Yeah,
the testosterone in them gets a little bit higher than normal. They feel themselves a little bit, and they start to say all kind of crazy stuff because they're confident, right?
Yeah, as where they should be. As where they should be.
Yeah,
confident.
They should be confident, but. If she was calling out people like you and me, I mean, you know, I can fight a little bit, but
facts.
A woman that boxes every day
whoop
my ass,
will
right?
beat the brain. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She gonna touch me up. I might get fuck around, be asleep with this motherfucker. Like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But we talking about she calling out dudes that do the same thing she do every day. So I don't know. Like she may get one or two, like surprise them with something that they didn't know she had, like the strength or speed or something. I don't know. But as far as actually beating them, I don't see that happening. That's just my opinion.
She talking about she'll knock niggas out. That's how she talking, bro. Like she gonna knock niggas out, bro.
I mean, she might catch somebody, but it ain't gonna be it's not gonna be any other professional boxer.
Nah, facts. She'll knock me out. I can come and go to she'll beat me the fuck up, but she not beating up Triple G or Sean Porter or Keith Thurman. Hell no. They put Jake Paul, like I said, Jake Paul is a troll boxer. He'll put paws on Claressa.
Right.
So and go get your publicity though, because you're doing a good job getting your publicity.
She doing it because we talking about it.
We talking about it.
That's why that's the first place I went. Was like, this gotta be for pub. Like this gotta be to pump up her. Because does she have a fight coming up soon or something like that?
That I didn't see, but I can research it a little bit more. But nah.
Yeah, I mean, but it has to be something, man, because I don't see in any way, shape, or form a woman boxer calling out another male, not another, but calling out a male boxer who does the same thing she does every day, who's probably. It seems like all of these individuals that she called out were bigger than her, right?
Bigger than her, yes.
That are bigger than, and I mean, it's commendable. Her confidence is very commendable, but
because she's fighting at the she's fighting in the lightweight, the women's welterweight division, which is at 137 pounds. But she said she will fight Triple G, Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter at 154, which is about 20 pounds heavier than what she is right now. Now, is she dominating the women's division at 137? Yes. She's 14-0, 2 knockouts. But if these men are knocking out 80% of the men that they're fighting, and you're only knocking out 10% of the women that you're fighting.
Right. Let's rethink this.
Let's rethink this a little bit. Like let's rethink this just a tad. Like,
and again, this is no knock on women. We know that you all are smarter than us. There are certain things that you will perceive smarter than us. There are certain things that, when I say us men, there are certain things that you all do better than us. But we are protectors for a reason. Sticks didn't want to say it. I'll say it. We are protectors for a reason. And so, yeah, you may be more physical than the average man, and you probably knock the average man out.
Right.
But you talking about somebody that does the same thing you do every day, a man doing the same thing you do every day. You might get the ones that's on the low tier, but you're not calling out those low tier guys.
But even the low tier dude knocked her out in a sparring match.
I know. I said she may get one of them.
Yeah.
But realistically, statistics show that that's usually not the case when it's equal playing field.
And not even equal playing field, but biology alone, dog. I didn't want to get into it, but biology alone, a lot of these men that are doing the same thing you doing are going to be faster, stronger.
Right.
Like, nah, you're not doing that, dog. But anyway,
you got this next one too, bro.
You intro it.
Nah, you got it, bro.
I bet. Kanye West, right? He's been in the news a lot over the past couple of years, and he's recently been in the news because he claims that his daughter North went to crazy lengths just to be with him. Meaning, it's been in the media that she ripped up Kim Kardashian's couches in her house just so she can be with her father during his album release, which was actually canceled. But they actually have done music together, him and North, and she wanted to be with her dad. She wanted to be with her dad, just plain and simple. So D-Lo, with all the things that Kanye has done, but the lengths that he has gone to just to be in his kids' lives, how are we looking at as a society today? And not just celebrities, but how are we looking at society today when it comes to the importance of not only a 2-parent household, but fathers in these child's lives? How are we looking at this today, bro?
What do you mean by how are we looking at that?
Because in a lot of ways, how do I want to say this? In a lot of ways, the governmental system, a lot of the systems that are in place kind of incentivize women to be single mothers, if that makes sense. If I'm saying it, I'm trying to say it without being too racy, but with the whole child support situation, the custody situation, alimony situations, they're heavily skewed towards women in these situations. Mm-hmm. And even the fathers like Kanye, or I can even say like myself, are damaged by that same system because we just want to be good fathers, but it's hard to do that whenever we have restrictions on when we can see our kids, or we have to give this certain amount of money every single month, even though we would do it willingly without the judge telling us to do it. Or it's a lot of different things that go on that sometimes incentivize a lot of women to be single mothers because of what they can gain from it. As a society, are we losing sight of what it means for a father to be in kids' lives?
Okay. I think I understand. I think I know you're going to feel differently about this. I think it's a matter of perspective on this.
Okay.
One.
Okay.
The reason I think it's a matter of perspective is because, yes, we see so many cases out there, or so many stories, so many news clippings where the father, typically the man has to pay money to the mother of the child because they're separated, or the child is awarded to the mother because they feel like that's a better situation for the child, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But there are occasions where it just doesn't fit, where the father is awarded the child, or the amount of money that they have to pay is unjust. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just like that, right? Mm-hmm. But statistically, we know that a child is best in a 2-parent household. Mm-hmm. I think based off of what I researched, it's extremely important for the father to be in the child's life, because based off of numbers that I forgot the resource that I looked at. Mm-hmm. They say that more than 50% of children who are in single parent household. Now that doesn't say if it's the mother or the father that's mm-hmm. the main character, the main person in the child's life. It just says single parent household. Mm-hmm. But based off of numbers that we know, usually it's the mother that's a single parent in the home rather than a father. Mm-hmm. So based off of that, 50% of children who are in single parent households are more likely to suffer from some type of mental disorder or behavioral issues. Mm-hmm. And then going along even further, they typically don't perform well in the classroom as those with 2 parents in the household. Mm-hmm. So the father is definitely an important piece. I don't know how much so, because me, myself, I don't have that. How do I want to say this? I haven't experienced the experiences you've had with not being in my children's life on an ongoing basis.
Mm-hmm.
I try to say that lightly because I don't want it to seem like I just haven't had that experience, put it that way.
Yeah.
So I know that with that experience, there comes a little bit of bitterness. That's not, it comes a little bit of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
There comes a little bit of, the different emotions that you go through with wanting to be a good dad, wanting to be in your child's life, but not actually having the opportunity to do that because of whatever the arrangement has been made that's out of you and the person that you created this life with hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me to say that one way or the other, if a father's importance is being taken away, I can't really give a honest opinion. All I can say is it's a matter of perspective because I am on the other side of it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I can speak to that, but I can't speak to that question that you made,
right?
That you presented.
Because it's funny you said that you think I'm going to be on the other side of this because I honestly agree with you. Because the reason why it touches me, and this is not to say that there are some women out there who are doing an amazing job raising their kids. It's not saying that women can't raise their kids on their own, and it's not saying that all kids who are in a single parent household. He just gave the stat, a little over 50% have these issues, but it's not to say that all women or all men who are single parents, and I'm going to direct this mostly at women. It's not saying that y'all can't raise y'all kids in a great environment and sacrifice and do everything for your kids. My lady's doing it right now. She's doing an amazing fucking job. But at the same time, I relate to a lot of what Kanye went through as far as his fight for his children, because I was a distant dad a dad from a distance for a long time, for 10 fucking years. And whenever you go ahead, you can interrupt.
I was going to say, because the way you say it, the way you worded that made it, I know the way you worded it, somebody could possibly take it as, oh, he wasn't in his child life, and that
I was about to explain that. And being a dad from a distance is hard to do whenever all you want is to be in this child's life, and you make different sacrifices. I made so many different sacrifices for those 10 years to make sure that Sam understood that daddy loves her, and Sam understood that I would do anything that I can to be close to her. I drove across country 2 years ago to come be with my daughter. That's how bad I wanted to be in her life. So I could understand that the fight that Kanye is going through, I could understand it 100% because all he wants to do is be in his child's lives. And whenever you have someone who's being, and I'm not denigrating Sam's mom because Sam's mom is amazing. We have a really good co-parenting relationship, but when you have somebody that is perceived as being very vindictive and doesn't want you to be around these kids and all you want to do is be with them, it makes it even tougher. Makes it even tougher for you to satisfy your rights as a father. And whenever you have a child that would much rather be with the dad and they go to these extents to be with that dad, it shows a little bit more about how important it is for the dad to be there, to dad to be around, to be given his rights as a dad, and not you be vindictive and not wanting you to see them. It's so important. It's so important. And then there are women out there that go to lengths to have the father in the kids' lives that the father just don't want nothing to do with them, or the father just don't make the effort to actually, not saying that he don't want it, but he just don't make the effort to satisfy his responsibility as a dad. Or like I said, just don't want to or don't care sometimes. So I understand that part of it too. But for those guys that don't want to, make it hard for the guys that do. And it is like we're all lumped in the same baby daddy category that it's like not all of us are like this. And Kanye is one of those that is not like that. He might say some dumb shit when in regards to politics, and he might go on rants and rage out sometimes and crash out. But when it comes to his kids, that's one thing that he's genuine about. And I can feel that, bro. I feel that 100% because I was like that. Not in a sense of going through it with Sam's mom, but at the same time, it's like she's so far away and all I want to do is be with her, which is why I did what I did 2 years ago. Left North Carolina, drove cross country to come be with my baby. And I feel it, bro. I just think that there needs to be more respect to the ones that want to, because we're so lumped into the ones that don't, that it makes it harder for us, for the ones that do. That's what I want to say.
I get that. And I feel like Kanye, obviously we don't know what Kanye does outside of when we see him on wherever we see him, social media, the internet, whatever. We don't know what he does.
Right.
And what we do know is that this statement of his daughter tearing up all the couches or ripping up all the couches in his baby mother's or his child at his baby mama's house came while he was on a rant.
It was. He was definitely on a rant. Yeah.
I don't think he's lying about it. But my question is, in response to this whole situation, is do we think he's stretching it a bit? That's the first question. But also, is the reason that Kanye always talks about his children, and I'm with you, I feel like he loves his kids 100%, do anything to be with his kids. But is the reason Kanye is always mentioning his kids when he goes in on these rants that he does, whether we feel like they're good or bad, I'm not here to say which is which, but is the reason he mentions his kids when he goes on those rants because everybody tries to paint him as bipolar, or just a person that's probably not good for his kids to be around. So he wants them to know, I love you. I want to be in your life. But no matter what I say, no matter if I'm trying to educate the masses or wake up the masses, whatever he thinks he's trying to do, whatever people think he's not trying to do or is trying to do, I want to send this message to you while I'm in this moment so that you do know that they're going to try to say that this is, why you're not in my life, but that is not the case.
You might have a point.
I'm not in your life.
You might have a point, D-Lo, because he does bring up his kids most of the time where he's ranting and going off. So I see what you mean. I see what you mean. But I mean, maybe because, you just want to make sure I think he needs to isolate his love for his kids and the problems with the media a little bit more. And just talk about that. So talk about things individually, because he does bring it up a lot when he's ranting, but I do agree though. I think he just wants his kids to know that he loves them and he's going through so much to try to see them, but he's making it, he's saying that, Kim is just making it so hard for him that he just can't do what he wants to do. He wasn't allowed to go to, Chicago's birthday back in the day. She wouldn't give him the address, and he bought the house next door so he can be close to his kids, and she ended up moving again. She tried to get a restraining order on it. A lot of different bullshit that he says that she's been doing that's making it hard for him to be a father. So it's like, we don't know what's true, what's not, and how, none of this has ever came out to say that she got a restraining order or she did move or whatever she did. But we do know the lengths that Kanye did because he talked about it. So, but, it's just, the father in the house is so important, man. And regardless of what y'all got going on, man, the kids are the ones that are really taking the loss and are being devastated by this more than you two are. You guys are adults. These guys are kids. These are young kids we're talking about, and they're taking a loss more than what y'all are because y'all want to have y'all petty disagreements. Just be there for them children, man. You ain't got to be there for each other. Just find a way to have a healthy co-parenting situation and just do it for the kids. That's all you got to do. Me and Sam's mom don't talk about nothing but Sam. I ain't got nothing going on with her. She got her own life. She got, she got what she got going on, got other kids and whatever. But when it comes to my daughter, we make sure we come together for her. And that's what we talk about. And that's what a healthy co-parenting relationship looks like. So if everybody could just figure that out with they baby daddy, baby mama situations, but I hate to say though, I hate those terms, but with those situations, if y'all could just figure it out for the kids' sake, everything could be so much better, man.
For the kids, dog.
For the kids, cuz. Do it for the children.
My Guy Sticks, episode 48.
48 in the books, bruh.
Too Complex podcast.
Yes, sir.
A wrap.
A wrap, G.
We still got to figure out what we're going to do for the 50th.
I said what we should do for the 50. You think we should do that?
We have to continue to talk about it.
For
I think
sure.
it's a good idea, but we have to
sure.
continue to talk about it.
For sure.
To flesh it out a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for tuning in to the Too Complex podcast. Remember that life is short and oftentimes too complex. But when it becomes too complex, let me restate that. Let me go back. Blip, blip,
do your
blip,
thing.
Blip.
Blick, 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 blick.
Remember that life is short and oftentimes complex. Right. But when it becomes too complex, don't be afraid to lean on those that you love the most to help you find simplicity and balance in life. Stay prayed up in this crazy world. A few requests thrown above can return you peace and sanity.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for supporting us and loving this podcast. It means a lot to us. We're sending our love right back. Don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast platform that you're listening to. And also follow us on all our social media platforms. We're almost to our goal on YouTube of 500 subscribers.
500. Let's get it.
So you follow us up on YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And as always, if it ain't too complex, it ain't complex at all. So with that being said, we'll see you when we see you. And until next time,
Salute.